I'm going to share some clips from live chats, my own YouTube content, and the movie Moonlight in this video. Before I share these as pieces of a puzzle for you to put together, I want you to contemplate the words protection, shelter, recruitment, and offense, as in to be offended. Then offensive, as in opposed to defensive. Then I want you to consider the words mother, father, family, and God. I want you to first define the words, literally, and then I want you to make a decision about what each of those words look like in action to you, and then watch the rest of the video. It hurts me to know that it becomes the burden of the parents to make a decision at birth to decide what gender their child is because they can't tell, which has nothing to do with the parents or the biological mother who was only exposed without her consent or given experimental prenatal treatments that caused problems or complications in those cells being able to activate and come together to become the various parts of the body, because all of the cells look the same when they start, but then some start shaping into the heart, some start shaping into bones, some start shaping into muscle, some start shaping into skin, some start shaping into hair and nails and a heart, a stomach, and all of those things. They know what they need to do, and they take on they have complete intelligence to become any aspect of a human being's form, but they take on the intelligence of a specific part and then go to work to join together to become that part. And the stem cells have the capacity to do the exact same thing. The body, in the same way I'm describing the earth, the body knows something is wrong, something is missing. And so the cells will go to that site and begin to regenerate in the form of whatever the issue is, so that you still have a kidney that works, or your bone is mended, or the cut seals and closes, that sort of thing, versus you get a cut and then a hand grows out of it. I mean, the cells are intelligent enough to know what needs to be done and to go to those areas and to take care of the problem. And the earth functions in exactly the same way in how human beings are born into the earth, with sentience, with a awareness that allows them to then begin to develop interests and preferences and things like that, but a full compulsion to move within whatever their gift is or whatever their talent is, because that's why they're here. They're here to be able to contribute that, whatever it is, that gift in this earth. So I need for people to focus more than anything else on learning how to be a friend and learning how to be a family before they start the process of concerning themselves about sex and marriage and having babies. For this reason, because the only reason any of these things would matter is if you are already thinking in terms of, how's this person going to have a baby? How's this person going to get married, and how are they going to have a baby? I mean, that's the only reason, a parent would feel like, I have to decide right now that this is what gender this child is. And I just, it's really, I can't. It breaks my heart what this world has been willing to subject babies and children to. Like they have lost their humanity, really, but the compulsion to see a baby suffer or to be caused to have deformities or to be disabled. Not compel people to say we have to figure out why this is happening and make it stop. We're going to take care of these kids and these babies, but we can't let this can't continue. So if people would learn how to be a friend and how to be part of a healthy family, then we'd be able to focus on these kinds of issues and hold accountable people who have absolutely no interest or intention in ever being a friend, a real friend, an honest friend, a trustworthy friend, and therefore part of a healthy family. They're just destructive. My adopted daughter,
an additional 1,100 folks who've registered. That's crazy. Go ahead.
There's a hunger, right? There is a hunger in our community and beyond our community to make real change happen and to be a part of. Student organizer for a Million Man March. And when we were in that sea of blackness, of all these amazing black men who were committing to their community to do the things that were necessary to make change happen. All these amazing black men who were committing to their community to do the things that were necessary to make change happen, make change happen, make change happen, was one of those moments. And y'all know who are watching this show, to get black folks to give up their money means that they gotta feel and know that there is something real that's right there. Strengthening those black men's organizations who are actually out there on the ground, and strengthening those black men's organizations who are actually out there on the ground, 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 knocking on doors and talking to folks, knocking on doors and talking to folks, knocking on doors and talking to folks. Those black men's organizations who are actually out there on the ground, knocking on doors and talking to folks. Those black men's organizations who are actually out there on the ground, knocking on doors and talking to folks, knocking on doors and talking to folks, knocking on doors and talking to folks. I have one.
What the leg breathe, man? How you doing?
Come on, man. What you need?
You help me out, man?
Nah, I can't do it, bro. You gotta keep it moving, bro. I can't do it right now, bro.
Man.
Police out here, man. Keep it moving, bro.
This is what?
Step to the side, bro. How you
What's good with you?
I'm all right, man. I'm out here handling business as usual.
Look, man, I don't mean no disrespect or nothing to you. I'm just trying to see if I can get a little
You
bro.
can't get me.
Hey, you know you my man, right, Juan?
This nigga.
Yo, you tripping, man.
See if you could do something here for me.
What the fuck I just told you, man? Let me get this shit, nigga. Get the fuck out of here, man. Go on. Oh, get that nigga, man. What's up,
good,
son?
man?
Yeah, man. I'm just out here, you know.
Yeah.
Regular day. You know, it's in the car. Everything cleaned out if you need it, you know.
Business good?
Yeah, it's good. I got something for you.
No. Hold on to that.
All right.
Empty the register on the weekend.
All right, no problem, son.
How your mom feeling now?
Oh, she doing good. She doing excellent.
Better?
She doing better, you know.
Send more prayers.
Most natural. Thanks. Thanks for the opportunity.
Yeah.
I'm out here.
What you doing in here, little man? Huh? You don't talk to strangers? All right. It's cool. We cool. Listen, man. I'm about to go get something to eat. You're welcome to join me if you want. It's okay if I take the front door.
So we've added an additional 1,100 folks who've registered. That's crazy. Go ahead.
There's a hunger, right? There is a hunger in our community and beyond our community to make real change happen and to be a part of it.
Come on now. Can't be no worse out here. All right. You hard right now. Until my girl come get you, though. She gonna make you talk. I'll be right back.
What's up? Feel right quick.
Do something like this.
You don't talk much, but you damn sure can eat.
That's all right, baby. You ain't got to talk till you get good and ready.
My name is Chiron. People call me Little.
right then, little.
Well, I'm gonna call you by your name then. Where you from, Sharon?
Liberty City.
You live with your mama?
Yes.
What about your daddy?
There's a hunger, right? There is a hunger in our community and beyond our community to make real change happen and to be a part of it.
That's all right.
You want us to take you home then, after you get finished eating your food?
Yeah, you gotta tell us where you live, bro.
No.
Okay. You can stay here tonight.
Please.
Would you like that? Okay.
What happened? Huh? What happened, Chiron? Why you didn't come home like you're supposed to? Huh? And who is you?
Nobody. I found him yesterday. Found him in a hole on 15. Yeah, that one. Some boys chased him in the cut. He scared more than anything. He wouldn't tell me where he lived till this morning.
Well, thanks for seeing to him. He usually can take care of himself. He good that way, but...
Little man.
In Moonlight, black boys look blue. You blue. That's what I gonna call you. Blue.
Say your name, Blue.
Her princes, all of her princes, were purer than snow, whiter than milk, their bodies more ruddy than coral, their essence like sapphire.
With the computer, absolutely spot on. It was spot on because it goes to what Trev was saying when we're talking about the letting the older people go in the computer world. If you want to keep that older computer, you have to change so many components on it to even try to upgrade it. So I can't even put I can't even put Windows 11, which now we're even on 12.6. I can't put Windows 11 on an XP machine. I got to I got to gut the whole thing.
Windows XP or Windows 98, Windows 95.
So I just thought that was a great analogy because I kind of chuckled. I was like, yeah, he's on it. Rock that one out, bro.
All right, let's go ahead and get Kenny P and Hank in there.
He must have said a lot got covered, and I'm in alignment with a lot of the social contract to protect a woman's good, bad, or indifferent. That's like saying I see a woman getting accosted because she got on some short stuff by a man, and I'm supposed to just walk by and let it happen. Nah, you can't. You can, but the social contract, as a man says, you have to intervene.
So you can dive a little bit more into that point. What happens when they keep going to play with the wolves?
That's the tough part that I pointed out before. Correction.
And to be surrounded by all of these folks who are committed in action, committed in actually making and giving resources. And y'all know who are watching this show, to get Black folks to give up their money means that they got to feel and know that there is something real that's right there. It was about actually taking tangible actions and strengthening those Black men's organizations who are actually out there on the ground, knocking on doors, making sure the resources make it to the vice president so that she has what she needs to deal with all of the things that are going to come to her. Where you've got these Black men in that moment who are interlocking their hands, placing their arms virtually around each other and saying, no matter what comes, we are going to stand with this sister. We are going to protect her. We're going to uplift her. And yes, once she is elected, we are going to hold her accountable.
And women say they're alpha, but they don't want an alpha man. They actually want a beta. To be able to do what they want to do. There's no threat. There's no deterrent. Like Hank is a father. How many times are you going to tell your children, stop? It's only a limited amount of times, correct? Before you take a corrective action. Not saying go out there and abuse no women like that. But you can see how women fell in order back in the days. But as for today, it takes a concerted effort of the women that are aligned with the values, as well as men consistently preaching the good gospel and hope aspirationally that things will change. Because the way it is right now, like the mantra, I said what I said. Who gonna check me?
So Kenny, could I ask you a question real quick?
Yeah.
Do you think that this threat that you're speaking of was the most effective way to get the results that you wanted?
What do you mean? Old school?
Yeah.
It was a lot better society-wise back then. And that, yeah. Stop playing around. Household need to be in order. You know, that chicken can't make itself. But not being archaic. I had to express to a couple of women that's hard-headed, listen, watch what's going to happen. You keep doing what you're doing. I'm not going to be around in a position with men that don't have the discretion that I do. And guess what's going to happen to you? I can only give the disclaimer and hope that they validate it.
You see, like that's the people who work, and it's not just. I'm not saying this.
Let's get that word beat out of there. Like correct.
So romanticize being able to physically punish women is crazy, bro. The only thing we got is to be men of respect that people want to be. Like ruling by fear and torture for people that are in your home is gonna get your spaghetti pregnant up.
Okay, you use two words, and I would like your words have power: beat and torture. That was not presented.
If you use physical punishment to make somebody do what you want within the house, especially your spouse, that it's akin to it. You might not necessarily.
What if you do it to your kid?
You say what?
I think the way Kenny was talking about it was in a disciplinary way, like how you would discipline your child. Like if he's saying you speak to a person first, right? You warn them, and then usually what follows is a corrective action. So I don't think he's talking about abusing anybody, but he's saying that essentially, if you were dealing with a kid, there would be nothing wrong with abusive action. But for some reason,
I don't believe that either. I don't believe. I don't believe in beating kids either. I think that you can. I think me personally, and what I'm actively doing, you can enact disciplinary measures that don't require you to physically hit somebody. That don't require you to put your hands on them, because what you teaching them.
And this is why 16 years old is killing niggas. This is why 16 years old running the street, and this is why little kids, because these little niggas in the streets, hold on, let me just hear me out. These little niggas in the streets, they're not afraid of niggas no more. And you want to know why they're not afraid? They're not afraid because nobody's putting hands on them. Nobody's giving them a reason to be afraid.
So
That's
most of my friends.
This is why you got a little nowadays. A little 14-year-old on the block will talk to a 36-year-old man and say, "Nigga, suck my dick." That would have never happened when I was a kid. I would have got my ass beat to a pulp. If I would have
So
even thought to tell an adult when I was a kid, if I would have ever thought to tell an adult suck my dick, you know what my parents would have did to me? They wouldn't have beat me or abused me, but I would have got my ass handed to me. I would have got taught a physical lesson. One thing I'm Caribbean, so we have a popular expression, and that expression is those who can't hear must feel.
It will feel.
And I'm gonna
okay,
leave it
well,
at that.
I'm not co-signing that. And so most of my friends growing up was wards of the state, foster care, or people who had both parents, right? A lot of the kids that was wards of the state and foster care got beat before they was taken from their parents. They got physical punishment. And you know what? A lot of them turned out to be murderers. So that whole they murdering people because they wasn't beat, that's a fallacy. Because I know plenty of people that was whooped into submission that ended up having murder cases. Plenty. I can list like 6 right now off the top of my head.
Yo, Marcus, you know what's crazy? You come from a certain cloth that there's a pecking order, and if that pecking order falls out of line, hands will get put on certain individuals within that pecking order or worse.
That's true, but I'm not trying to raise my kid to get DPs on some gang shit. I'm raising kids that I'm actually spending the time to nurture, create a relationship, figure out what the issue is, create a solution based on that issue, and move forward with teaching them as opposed to just ruling by fear over them. I don't think that's an adequate measure when you're trying to raise somebody up. Now, on some gang shit where the penalty is death and y'all in here fighting and you got to get to it as quickly as possible, and I'm not your adult parent, and you don't rely on me for every single, it does exist. I'm not saying it don't exist, and I'm not saying it don't work, but I also seen niggas get backdoored that was the Chiefs. I also seen niggas who harbor resentment from a DP, and then when they get their chance, go with their move. I've seen that shit backfire completely. I've seen kids who parents discipline them the right way in this generation not mess with their parents or have a very a traumatic experience with their childhood that they're going through therapy for and pointing the finger and blaming their parents for all of that at this age. I'm saying,
okay, Marcus, are you differentiating me saying correct from you saying abuse and torture?
So
there's a difference between holding your kid and abusing them. You know that, right?
So my line and your line may be 2 different lines, but it's still within that same paradigm. Because all right, it's hitting some. Let's go down the list. Would you consider hitting somebody with a switch abuse?
Yes.
Yeah.
Would you consider hitting somebody with your hand abuse?
Depends.
Depending on where.
I say no.
And how.
Depends on
open
force.
hand, closed hand.
Depends on force and where.
So what?
I want to say something to these men out here who are hoping to find a grown woman to love and care for them, to be an eternal partner with them, a whole woman, while you still out here in these streets destroying other women and their lives. How does that work exactly? How do you find a whole woman when you still out here in these streets destroying the lives of women who are whole? Make it make sense. See also the video, The Lament of the Church Concubine, at this link below.